first well dries, the travelers search for another. Oche hated that prophecy more than he hated the weight of the kingdom on his head. But duty was a stubborn drum, one that never stopped beating. Reluctantly, with a heart wrapped in sorrow but bound by tradition, Oche married again. Her name was Ehi, a woman of grace, intellect, and calm strength from a neighboring tribe. The council favored her immediately. She walked with quiet confidence. She spoke with the wisdom of an elder despite her youth. And when she smiled, it was like the slow rising of the sun after a restless night. He entered the palace not as a rival but as a healer. She soothed tensions. She comforted Ochanya. She respected traditions. Even Oche, whose heart still clung fiercely to his first wife, found peace in his presence. And soon, the palace drum thundered again. He has conceived. The kingdom buzzed with hope. The elders nodded proudly. Whispers carried across villages, eager and excited. Surely, this will bring a prince. Oche dared to believe, but fate had its own reading. When he gave birth, it was a girl, a radiant child named Oka after a goddess of beauty. But disappointment lingered like a smoke. Another pregnancy followed. Another girl, Aipu, named for patience. Then a third, Ewa, meaning grace. A fourth, Oleku, honoring truth. Then the fifth, Eno, symbolizing strength. 5 girls, 5 beautiful girls, intelligent girls who filled the palace with laughter and mischief, their little feet tapping against polished floors like redeeming drums. Oche adored them. He told stories at night, lifted them in his arms, and let them braid his hair with tiny ribbons. But behind every joyous moment lay a shadow, a cruel reminder none of them were sons. As his daughters grew, so too did the discontent of the kingdom. What started as murmurs became questions. Questions became accusations. Accusation became demands. Why does our king have no heir? How long shall the throne wait? Can Oche truly live if the gods deny him a son? Every morning, messengers brought vague messages from distant allies. Every evening, another priest arrived offering sacrifice bowls, incantation, amulets, and impossible promises. Oche's days blurred with rituals, night blurred with fear. He knelt before shrines. He poured libations into sacred clay pots. He swallowed bitter herbs that scorched his throat. He rubbed his skin with paste that smelled of fire and iron. Still, nothing. His chest grew heavy with shame. He could not voice. He felt it in the way the warriors bowed at council's meetings, in the way market women whispered behind fold wrappers, in the lingering gaze of elders who believed they were watching the slow death of Idoma's lineage. He would sit on the balcony overlooking his kingdom and feel the weight of generations pressing down on him like a mountain. Ochanya saw it and he felt it. Everybody talked about it, but no one talked to him except the gods, through signs he barely understood. One night, when the sky was dark and swollen with the threat of rain, Oche summoned both Ochanya and Ehi to his chamber. He sat on a low stool carved with the symbol of his lineage. His palms trembled. "Tell me," he asked, voice weary. What wrong have I done to the gods? Ochanya looked down, tears falling silently, and he spoke first, her voice soft but steady. My king, not every barren tree is cursed. Sometimes the soil needs time. Sometimes the rain needs to fall. Oche shook his head. It has been years, Ehi. Years. How long must I wait? How long will my kingdom wait? Ochanya placed a hand over his. My king, do not let their voices drown your own. You are still strong, still blessed. He looked at them. Two women who had given him nothing but devotion and a moment. He felt peace. Then a sudden knock shattered it. A palace guard stepped into the room, bowing low. My king, the elders are gathered at the throne hall. They request your presence immediately. Immediately, this is late. Nothing good ever came from such summons. Oche rose like a man walking towards judgment. The throne hall was dim, light only by torches with flames swayed like restless spirits. The elders stood in a semicircle, their faces carved with disapproval. Chief Ode stepped forward. My king, he spoke slowly. We have given time. We have waited. We have hoped. But hope is a basket with a hole. He paused. The kingdom is whispering. The throne is weakening. Our enemies now mock us. They say Idoma is a kingdom of daughters. A bitter ripple of murmur circled the hall. Oche clenched his fist. And what would you have me do? I have followed every ritual, spoken to every priest. Another wife, one said sharply. A third, another echoed. Someone with stronger blood, someone fertile, someone blessed by the gods. Chief Ode delivered the final blow. Your Majesty, without a son, you are a king, only in name. The word cracked through the hall. Oche felt something inside him collapse. That night, Oche locked himself inside the royal courtyard, surrounded by ancient trees that had watched generations rise and fall. He paced the gravel path, bare lips trembling. He thought of Ochanya, her tears, her love, her faith. He thought of Ehi, her patience, her dignity, her 5 daughters. He thought of his father Adalu, whose shadow seemed to loom over him like a giant. And he thought of Idoma, the kingdom he had sworn to protect. A cold breeze brushed his skin. The leaves rushed like whispers. Another wife, another chance, another hope. His heart rebelled, but his duty tightened around his throat like a rope. As he wrestles with this torment, he suddenly remembered a place, a village, his mother's village. A land across the great river, a land known for its women of unmatched fertility. Women whispered to carry the blessing of the river goddess. Women said to be born with charm and power in their blood. A village feared and respected. Oche swallowed hard. The thought came to him like a spark in darkness. If I must take another wife, let her come from there. Please watch out for part 3 of this story. Will Oche succeed in his venture? Will he take another wife? And will the wife bear him a son? Kindly subscribe, like, follow, and comment. Thank you.